Hi. When it comes to communicating effectively with higher-ups, she's the boss. Career coach Lindsay Picardo joins us. Good morning.
Good morning, Trace. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. This is some delicate areas that a lot of people don't necessarily treat delicately, and they need to, right?
That's exactly right. There's really a couple things that we want to keep in mind when we're talking to our boss, especially if we're upset. So let's talk through what you can do to prepare yourself so you can feel confident going in.
Okay, how do we get started?
The first thing, rule of thumb, do not vent to your boss. In general, when we vent to our boss, they know you don't really want to come up with a solution. You're just kind of telling me all your feelings, which isn't a bad thing to want to have an authentic connection, but that's different than venting. So find somewhere, find a safe third party to vent and get that first layer of frustration out. Because when you get to your boss, you want to have a conversation about how this scenario is affecting the bottom line, is affecting the organization as a whole. That's going to be much more effective, and it's going to perk their ears up and get their attention.
Okay, so who should this third party be? It has to be somebody who understands what the situation is, right?
Well, you really don't want to go to somebody else who you work with, because you're really just sowing more seeds of discontent inside of your companies or your organization. So, a friend that doesn't work with you, your dentist, whoever it is, just find somebody that is not directly connected, because the last thing you want to is to, tarnish your reputation or cause more drama. We all have frustration. We are all irritated. It makes sense, especially right now. Just make sure before you vent that the person is safe, that you have a track record with them of, keeping it zipped and have safe combos.
I've had trouble venting to my dentist because it turns out I just had this, and then I said to her, yeah, exactly. But,
you totally got my joke.
But then they can't repeat it to anybody either. So, okay, what's next?
Okay, so if you do have a very critical concern that affects everyone and potentially the bottom line, when you bring that to your leader, ask them, when have you dealt with this before? I know a lot of us are eager to bring solutions, which is awesome. Definitely think of some solutions. But first, ask for their input, especially when there's an age gap. I work a lot with millennials and boomers and Gen Xers in the middle. And I find that part of respect is saying, hey, I wonder, when have you been through this before? What did you learn? What was the process that you took? Just show that you recognize that your leader's probably been around the block a few more times. And then certainly you can also bring a solution. It's important to show that you want to think critically and help solve the problem.
Well, as someone that on Twitter they call me, well, as an old, I would say, something that might be a new and unusual problem to somebody new to an industry or an organization may have been something that, well, this crops up every few years, like, locusts or something. Here's how we've handled it in the past. So maybe something could come from the way it was handled in the past and be applied to a new way to handle it if things have changed.
That's exactly it. You nailed it. That's right. And just being able to show that respect. I know you've probably done this before. You'll be amazed if you even ask that question, the amount of data and knowledge that you can gather really quickly from somebody. The last piece is to always just make out a quick agenda. If you're taking somebody else's time in general, it shows that you have respect for them. When you make that agenda and say, these are the 3 things I want to make sure to cover with you, it shows respect for time. It shows professionalism. It also keeps you on track personally if you are still dealing with your own frustration. So that helps everybody be prepared to know what the meeting is about and how we can get to a solution quicker.
Well, especially if this meeting is going to be a Zoom or a WebEx or something along those lines, right? Time is precious, even more so now.
That's exactly right. And attention, we all know what it's like to be zoomed out. Let's keep these meetings short. One of the best things a client's ever said to me is, you taught me that if we can't get it done in 20 to 30 minutes, it's not worth an hour. So let's get it done in 20, 30 minutes. We can cut to the chase, make sure we get everything accomplished and move along, especially like you said, when we're staring at screens so much.
Oh, from your mouth to every manager's ears in every industry, right?
Exactly.
Good to see you. LindsayPicardo.com. We'll put the link on IndyStyle.tv. Stay safe.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Amber's having a meeting of 1.
Oh my goodness, yes, I'm thinking of all these suggestions that she had. I'm like, oh, that's good, that's good. And I like how you say you can also apply them for next time if in fact you didn't do it the first time. Good stuff. Hey